Good morning, students. Welcome to the subject of business policy and strategy. Right? We are dealing, or we have started already with unit number 1, that is Introduction to Business Policy and Strategy. In this unit, we will be learning everything about business policy, which we have already completed, and then we'll be doing the strategy that we are going to do in today's session, and then we move on with the different topics of strategic management. Whether you call it business policy and strategy or strategic management, it is one and the same, right? It's a combination of policy and strategy together that gets the strategic management as a topic. Now, as far as the policy is concerned, we have introduced ourselves to policy. If we just refresh it one more time, it is like it defines the what is business policy. Then we can understand it like it defines the limit of the decision making, right? Describes the guidelines of the organization. It helps in acquisition of the resources to achieve the goals. It defines the nature of the firm, and it may cover so many kind of various issues related to the organization. So business policy is like a guideline, it's like a framework, right? We have seen with the definitions, we have also checked out with different types of features. The important functions of business policy also has been done, and advantages related to the business policy has also been taken up. In today's session, we'll be starting with the meaning of strategy and related topic. All right, before learning the term or the concept of strategic management, it is important for us and it is compulsory for us to understand the word strategy. Strategy has been derived from the Greek word strategos. All right, and that strategy is what? Then in simple words we can say that strategy is an action that managers take to attain one or more of the organizational goals, right? Strategy is also about integrating the organizational activities and utilizing as well as allocating the scarce resources within the organizational environment so that we can meet the present objectives, right? So while planning a strategy, it is also important and necessary to consider that decisions are not taken in vacuum. Enough valid reason should be there to take up the decisions, and that can be named as strategy. So what is strategy? Then strategy can be considered as a general direction set for the company and its various components to achieve a desired state in the future. Strategy results from a detailed strategic planning process. That means it is a kind of direction that is set for the company so as to achieve or and its various components so as to achieve the desired state in the future. Whatever you are planning somewhere in future, in a long term, whatever the company wants to get or wants to be at that point, that can be achieved with the help of strategies, right? So strategy is a result of strategic planning process. So we can say that strategy can thus be defined as a knowledge of the goals, the uncertainty of the events, and the need to take into consideration the likely or actual behavior of the others. It works like a blueprint of the decisions in an organization, which shows the objectives and goals, defines the business and the company is, that means the company is going to carry out. Everything is mentioned or is taken care by the strategy. Thus the term strategy has been borrowed from military, right? Even today a business faces the competition, and more or less it is similar to the conditions like war. So every business wants to be one step ahead or excel the rivals, and that is why they have to frame certain kind of strategy from time to time. So strategy is what? It is a common theme of strategic decisions through which an organization tries to relate itself with the external environment. This involves major resources decision to develop certain advantages which helps in achieving its vision and mission. That means strategies are those special plans or those decisions through which organization tries to relate and tries to bridge the internal environment or internal organization with the external environment. It also involves the major decisions related to the resources, right? And it tries to develop certain advantages which helps to achieve the vision and the mission of the company or maybe the organization, right? So if this thing is clear, we can go with the features of strategy. As you can see, the bold letter tells us about the features. Number one, what is the feature number one? Strategy relates the firm to its environment. As I told you, it is like a bridge between the internal setup of the environment or the internal setup of the organization and with the external environment in which it is going to survive. Next is, strategy is the right combination of both the factors, internal and external, right? In relating the organization to its environment, the management considers the internal factors also, right? And particularly it tries to find out its strength and weakness to take various courses of action. So it is a factor combining both the things, external as well as internal. Next comes up is, strategy is a relative combination of actions. That means to meet the particular condition, to solve say some kind of specific problem, or to attain the desirable objective. It may be in any form. For every situation, it requires somewhat different approach. So it can be so many actions taken together, right? So it's a combination of many actions. One action cannot be considered as strategy. Next comes up is, it is forward looking. Naturally, it is a long term planning, specific planning, and it depends, and it is such a kind of thing which is related to the future. Nothing new requiring solution can exist in past, and so strategy is relevant only to the future, right? Again, strategy may open or may be even involve contradictory actions. Many a times it may be that we are taking so many things together. So a manager may take such an action today and revise and reverse his steps tomorrow, depending on the situation. So one step which may be taken today may be a back foot tomorrow. Then it may be a contradictory action which may be involved in strategy formulation or strategy, right? Next is, it deals with long term development rather than the routine operations. Naturally, for the routine operations, it is the planning that does enough, but when you want to go for the long term operations or maybe long term development, it is only with the help of strategy that we can take up with the development. All right. Next comes up is, the strategy is created to take into account the probable behavior of the customers and competitors in the long run. Naturally, strategy is created so that we can find out the probability or probable behavior or maybe predictable behavior of the customers and competitors in long run, and we can set the policies or maybe set the plans and strategies accordingly. Eighth one is, strategy is a systematic phenomenon. That means it involves series of action planning and in a systematic and in a meticulous manner. No way contradictory to each other, because a common theme runs across them. So strategy can be considered to be a unified or comprehensive and integrated plan of action. So it cannot be in vacuum, it cannot be random, it is a systematic phenomenon. It is 9.8, it is multidisciplinary. It may involve the decisions say of relating to marketing, finance, human resource, maybe operations, right? So strategy takes a holistic view in the while they are being framed, and thus it can be considered as multidisciplinary, considering all these functional areas of management or organization. Again, it can be considered as multidimensional, means it does not only tells us about the vision and the objective, but also how to achieve them. That is also mentioned in the strategy. So it implies that organization should possess the resources and all the competences which are demanded or which is appropriate for implementing the strategy, right? It has to link the strategies are linked with the incentives, with the performance, thus making it multidimensional. So it is not only one way thinking, so many things are considered at the same time. Next is, it is hierarchical. That means on the top you may have different types of strategies are there all over the organization, right? According to hierarchy, it can be at the corporate strategies at the top, then comes up maybe the business unit levels, then comes up the functional levels or functional strategies. That means it falls from top to bottom, and different strategies are framed at the different levels. We will be learning all these levels in the later part of the chapter. Again, it is a dynamic process. Naturally, it keeps on changing with the changing circumstances and maybe the environment. So needed changes are taken up. Next, the purpose of strategy is to create competence. Competence means things firm does better than their competitors. So that is being sharpened with the help of a strategy, right? And value creation is there to attain the vision and mission with the help of preparing or creating the competencies. Next comes up is strategy requires searching for new sources of advantages. Naturally, strategies are made to have the sustainable long term competitive advantage of that the firm may create or may have, so that it becomes unique and creates the wealth for the company. So it's not only simply copying about the leaders, but it is like you have to look different, and we find out the new sources to take the advantages of the strength that the company or the organization possess. Next comes up is strategy is almost always the result of some type of collective decision process. That means whatever the decisions is taken up together, the vision, the mission, objectives, corporate strategies are determined by the top management. BUS, that means business unit strategies, are decided by the head of the business unit, and functional plans by the functional heads, but the top management consent is a must. So it is like so many decision process are taken up together, and it's a result of these decisions that makes one particular or maybe the series of strategies, right? So it is a kind of the decision which may have the collective actions together. So strategy can now be considered, now that we are clear what is strategy, then we can consider it as a roadmap of an organization, because it defines all overall mission, vision and direction of an organization. The objective of strategy is what? To maximize company's strength and to minimize the strength of the competitors, right? So strategy is kind of the plan or a bridge that gaps or that fills the gap between where we are and where we want to be somewhere in a long future, right? So this is what can be considered as the strategy. So if we want to sum up strategy in 3 lines, then we can say that strategy is concerned with matching the external opportunities with the corporate resources at the acceptable level of profit and risk. So it involves 3 different types of actions. Number 1, determining, that means deciding the long term goals and objectives. Number 2, it decides the course of action, and number 3, it also tells us about the allocation of resources for carrying out the action. That means if you understand these 3 points properly, we can define or we can explain strategy properly, right? So we can say that in short, policy and strategy are related terms in a wide sense, where strategy relates an organization with its environment, whereas policy decides the nature of the firm involvement in it with its environment, and both are important different levels so as to achieve the objectives of the organization, right? So this is how the strategy can be understood. If we are moving towards the next part, it is the importance of strategy. So why it is so important? Number 1, strategy helps long term planning, naturally, right? If you want to plan out for more than 5 years, then it is only with the strategical plan that we can go for the 10-20 years planning. So when you are planning for so many years down the line, you have to become very creative, and you have to stand on your toes and your feet, so that the competitors don't look strong, but you become more competent than the rest of the players in the market. So that is what is said to be strategies are long term, helps in long term planning. Next is strategy helps in sustainability and competitive advantage. Sustainability means when you want to sustain for a long period of time, the strategies are must, and it also creates a kind of sharpening edge over the competitive advantage. That means if you want to you are planning for anything that does not work out well for you, and you are also planning in case anything works out too well, because you know your core strength, your vision, mission, so that because you know your direction forward, what happens is you will have a tremendous competitive advantage over the others, and that can build over the years. So this is what happens when you bring out the strategy. So it is strategies are considered to be very important. Next is strategy helps in collecting inputs means all the types of all the types of resources or all the types of information. Like input might be various internal customers, stockholders, maybe the distributors, dealers or others, and it might be from employees also that we may collect few kind of inputs, and it might also be from the end customer. So input plays very important role, because on basis of that we take so many kind of decision. Again, what does the strategy do? That strategy helps in preparation for different markets and products, right? It is dynamic in nature, we have said earlier. So it gives guidelines for the future targets of the company, using which the company can readjust the marketing strategy for the product which is facing the fire or which is facing the problem. So it can also launch new product if required. So this way it helps in preparation for the different market and maybe different products also. Next comes up is strategy helps to protect against the sudden change in the environment, because you anticipate the future, right? Strategy works on future, and it is there for anticipating the future, and this changes as much as possible and be ready with the action plans for the same. So the job of the strategy is this, to anticipate any type of changes, and it keeps itself ready for any action plans in the future. So it protects from any sudden changes because you are well prepared with the help of strategy. Again, strategy optimizes and increases the profit naturally. What happens is marketing strategy actually tightens up the complete process and operations of the organization, so it contributes to a possibly increased profit and increased revenues. So strategy always has an eye on the future, and it guides the organization in making the moving forward in a planned manner. So it helps to optimize and increase the profit, which is one of the major goal of any organization or business. Next is it helps in improving the marketing communication, because what happens is you are already analyzing the markets, the customers, the external environment, and you implement the best strategies for it. So what happens is it becomes easier for your marketing manager to design all the communication strategies and communication mix, and it also becomes easier to choose the marketing vehicle to carry the message, right? So you know where your organization stands, right, and where you want to bring it. So where you are and where you want to go, that bridge can be taken up with the help of strategies, and so it helps the marketing communication also. Eighth one comes up is strategy leads the organization with a single objective. What happens is that the strategy for the organization is decided at very top, and then it falls down the line, right? So the good thing about this is that it aligns, it keeps in balance the complete organization with one objective. So it is critical that after the strategy is made, the main points and the way forward be communicated down the line. So what happens is single objective can be very well communicated down the line from top to bottom, right? So it becomes easy to align all the levels with one strategy. Next comes up is strategy helps in optimum utilization of resources. Naturally, because while getting or while framing or before framing the strategy, what is being done, the inputs are taken into consideration, right? So you know better about your strength and weakness, you know about the resources that might be required, maybe people, equipment, money, right? Whatever is required, you know it very well, and whatever is present in the organization, that is also very clear before framing the strategy. So what happens is we can make the maximum utilization of resources at that time. Next comes up is strategy can help with gap analysis. Now what is this gap analysis? The key factor of the growth of any organization is gap analysis. When you do your gap analysis, or when you overcome this gap, then the strategies actually work out very well. So when we are trying to cater our customers, there are numerous gaps which may arise. That means whatever is expected and whatever we are planning, that gap should be met. So these gaps might be service gaps, expectation gaps, or anything else. Because strategy keeps analyzing the current performance of the firm, and it also carries out the gap analysis. It studies the gap properly and tries to fill in. So what happens is it analyzes the gap in the company and fills those gap with the proper actions of plan, right, at a proper time and at proper place. So what happens, that gap can be fulfilled. All right, now we are moving towards the last part of strategy, that is considered to be the difference between policy and strategy. In the initial part we have said that strategy and policy are not similar, right, they are different from each other. So term policy should not be considered as a synonym of the strategy. They are basically fundamentally different from each other. So suppose when we are talking about policy, then it can be considered to be as the blueprint in the organizational's activity, which are for the routine types of decision in nature, right, while strategies are what, then number one, strategy is concerned with those organizational decisions which have not been dealt or faced before, right, that means it is for future and they are not being dealt before. It is a specific plan for specific condition. Again, the point of difference number two is policy is concerned with guidelines to thinking and actions of those who make the decisions, right, while strategy is concerned with the direction in which human and physical resources are allocated, deployed and applied. So in order to get the maximize the chances of achieving organizational objectives, so it is concerned with the direction in which you want to deploy the resources, rather than policy, they are the guidelines that how you have to perform. Third point of difference is policy formulation is the responsibility of top level management, while strategy formulation is basically done by the middle level management, though the consent is there of the top level management. So at the corporate level, at the business level and at the functional level, the strategies are being framed. Fourth point is policy deals with the routine or maybe the daily activities essential for the effective and efficient running of the organization. What happens with strategy, they deal with the strategic decisions and they are specific in nature, they are not of routine types. Next is policy is concerned with both thought and action, right, while strategy is only concerned or mostly concerned with the action plans. Next, a policy is what is or what is not done, that means do's and don'ts are mentioned in policy. What happens with the strategy, strategy is a method through which you want to achieve the target or objectives that are mentioned in the policy. Means if you follow the policy, with the help of policy you can make the strategy and can get the goals of the organization. Seventh point of difference is policies can be delegated downward in the organization. It can be shown, it can be followed by the say the employees in the all over the organization, while strategy cannot be delegated downward since it may require till the last minute for executive decisions. It cannot be forwarded further, right, because any action may be required at any point of time, and that is why till the last minute it cannot be delegated, it has to perform by its own. So here we come to an end of the part of strategy, right. What we have done up till now as far as this unit is concerned, we have completed with strategic policy, we have completed with business policy, we have done with strategy as the concept and related areas, right. Now comes up the area or the main core of the whole chapter, that is concept of strategic management, right. What used to happen, see, in the olden times it was believed that managers needed to focus only on today's decision. If you are focused on today's decision and if you can take the present decision properly, you don't have to worry. However, what happened after the time, that the rapid changes came up, right, and so the companies have made the managers forcibly to accept or anticipate the future and prepare for the same. That means only the today's plan will not be enough, you will have to plan out for future also, right. So they were very much equipped with the systems, procedures and manuals, and evolved budgets and planning and control system, which included the capital budgeting and even management by the objectives, which we know it's as MBO. But the inadequacy of these techniques have led to the emergence of long range planning, which turns give rise to the strategic planning, eventually known as strategic management. So what is strategic management? We can say that strategic management deals with the decision making and action which decides a unit's ability either to excel, survive or die by making the best use of firm's resources in any dynamic conditions. Right, many decisions, like in the firm we see many decisions are taken, like expansion, stability, production mix, upgradation, joint ventures, so many types of crucial decisions which may be taken up. This certainly has a long term impact on the activities of the unit, and the top level management is generally responsible for providing a sense of direction to the whatever the course of action. But the prerequisite to proper strategic management is the use of analytical technique. But you have to, when you take up these decisions, that can be considered as a part of strategic management, right? But to do that, the analytical techniques are required, skills are required for developing and implementing strategic decisions. In the later part, we'll also learn about the strategic decisions. Thus we can say that strategic management is what? It is an art and science. Of what type? Of formulating, implementing and evaluating the cross functional decisions. That means it can be considered as such an art or kind of a science which helps to have the formulation, implementation, and not only that, but also evaluating the performance of the cross functional decisions that enables an organization to achieve its long term objectives, right? So in a nutshell, we can say that strategic management is at a large what? Decision making activity. It's the result of series of managerial decision. Thus strategic management is ongoing process that assesses the business in the light of environmental changes by setting the strategies to meet all the existing and potential conditions. So if we want to understand strategic management in short, or with a kind of simple equation, here we can understand it like this, that strategic management is what? Then we can say it is decision making plus actions taken by an organization. Why these actions are taken or what it results into? Either it will result into survival, or it will result the company to excel, or it will result the company to die. That means whatever the decision making is done or whatever the actions are taken by the organization to survive, to excel or to die, that means it will result into any of this condition, then whatever decision making is done, that can be considered as strategic management. So while taking the strategic management, as you can see the downward arrow, right, what do? We take the actions relating to the resources of the firm, we make the use of the skills for developing, implementing decisions, and thus we can say that SM, that means the strategic management is art and science of formulating, means to frame, implementing to put in action, and evaluating, that means evaluating the performance, to check the performance of the cross functional areas of decision making, can be considered as strategic management, right? So if we try to just revise it one more time, we can say that strategic management is what? It is such a kind of process, it is a process phenomenon, it's a kind of proper process. What we do in this process? We take the decisions, right? We take such kind of actions, that means organization takes such a kind of actions. It is a decision making plus not only decision making on paper, but we take the actions with which what the company or organization will be able to do. Either it will be able to survive the unknown environment, it will be able to excel with its strength, or it will die because of its weakness. But anyhow, the strategic management helps the organization to take so many decisions related to resources of the firm. There may be use of the skills for developing, implementing of the strategic decisions, and thus we can consider it as an art plus science which helps to formulate, that means to frame, or maybe not just framing, implementing, and even the evaluation of all the cross-functional decisions of the organization. Thus strategic management can be understood with this simple equation. Here the evolution of the concept is given, that's not very important, right? The definitions have been given, whatever has been explained in the equation is there in the different definitions given. So here a few simple definitions we may go or we can just refer it once. Strategic management is concerned with deciding on strategy and planning how that strategy is put to effect. That means how it can be put to action. Again, strategic management can be defined as the dynamic process. What it is a dynamic, ever changing process of what? Of formulating, that means of formulation, implementation, evaluation and control of strategies to realize the organization's strategic intent. That means whatever the strategic intent of the organization is, to get to those intentions, to reach the intentions of the organization, when you frame, when you implement and when you evaluate the strategies, it is this dynamic process is known as strategic management, right? Now we are going to the next important part that is very crucial, which is known as elements of strategic management. When we are talking about the elements, we have to remember 4 elements. With the simple words we can just note it. Okay, so the strategic management is made up of these 4 components: strategic analysis, strategic choice, strategic implementation and strategic evaluation. When you bring these 4 components together, we can say that we are doing strategic management. Now what is this analysis? See, the term analysis means a deep study, right? So strategic analysis is what? To take up with different researches, to do the SWOT. We have seen SWOT earlier in the junior classes, right? SWOT analysis is what? It is a straightforward model in which a company comes to know about its strength and weakness and opportunities and threats that may be lying in the environment, right? And it tries to make the strategies taking care of these research. After taking care of this research, doing so much of research, after taking up with the SWOT, it tries to find out either the potential favorable conditions or maybe unfavorable conditions. So strategic analysis is that element which helps to have the research, which does the SWOT and which finds out the potential favorable or potential, that means somewhere in future probable kind of favorable or unfavorable conditions. Why it is done? So that we can have the strategies accordingly, right? Second component comes up is strategic choice. See, what happens is, to reach the objective there cannot be only single path. There may be so many kind of choices available to us, so many kind of options are available to us. So managers and decision makers have to keep both the external and internal environment in mind, and after that what they do is they try to find out the solutions to the problem with the help of planning available or maybe choices available to them. So what they do is they come up with a strategic choice process where decision for the final choice is taken considering the various parameters in mind. So comparative study of all the choices available is done by the managers or decision makers, right, out of the multiple options available, and then they try to find out the best or correct option for the company or maybe organization. Then that is what is known as strategic choice. Next, the strategic choice in single line, what we can understand is selecting the correct option. Coming up to the next, that is strategic implementation. Then what happens here? Only choosing the strategy will not be enough, right? You have to even implement it, right? You have to change the chosen strategy into such kind of organizational action which helps to achieve the goals. So it is strategy implementation is the translation. You translate the chosen strategy, whatever you have chosen in the earlier element, whatever you have chosen as a plan or as a specific strategy, we try to translate that strategy into such kind of organizational actions. Means it's not on paper, even we take the efforts to see that it turns up into action, and then it helps to achieve the strategic goals and objectives. When we do this, it is said to be strategic implementation. It is very important part of the element of the strategic management also, and it's a very crucial stage of process also. We'll see further in the chapter, right? The fourth element is about the strategic evaluation. With the help of strategic evaluation, what we do is we attempt to see that past the obvious factors that influence short-term plans and seek a more dynamic study of the trends that will dictate the future success or failure of the company. That means it is that significant area of strategy formulation. It throws light on the efficiency and effectiveness of a comprehensive plan in achieving the desired results. That means it helps to find out the productivity of the company and their future. That means it helps us to evaluate that what it has to do and whatever it has been able to finish. That means the significance of the strategy evaluation lies in its capacity to coordinate the task performed by the managers, groups, departments, etc. through control of performance. Thus, strategic evaluation is a significant element because of the various factors such as developing inputs of new strategic planning, feedback, appraisal, reward, development of strategic management process, judging the validity of the strategic choices, etc. are undertaken. That means strategic evaluation is what? With the help of whatever the strategies we have chosen, we try to implement it, and it's not just the implementation which is enough. You have to even somewhere check that whether the things are according to the plans or not, whether the company has been able to find out the productivity or not, or their for their future, right? So it is finding out where the company stands and what more can be done. That is said to be strategic evaluation. Okay, here 4 components are done. I repeat, 4 components are: number 1, it is the strategic analysis; number 2, it is strategic choice; number 3, strategic implementation; and number 4 comes up as strategic evaluation. In the further part, we are going to find out the need for strategic management. That means why strategic management is required, right? So here simple needs are there, and that we shall do it, so that we can come to know that why strategic management is so very important, or why it is required in the organization. Because that number 1, because it is constant change, right? Changes makes planning difficult, we all know this, but firms may proact to change rather than just to react. So after the changes are done, we make the changes or we react to it. Instead, what we do is we proact with the help of strategic management. So it encourages the top executives to forecast the changes and provide the direction and control, right? Next is to provide the guidelines. What happens is, with the help of strategic management, what can be done? It provides the guidelines to the employer about whatever the organization's expectations are there from them, and it also helps to minimize the conflict that may arise from the job performance or job demand. So it helps to it creates a kind of guidelines to the say employer and the employees also. Next comes up is why it is required. Then one of the reason is possibility of better performance. See, there is no clear cut result available to support the strategic management that leads to higher performance, but the majority of the studies say that there is a relationship between the better performance and formal planning, right? So it is also stated that businesses which plan strategically have higher probability of success than those which do not take up with strategic planning or maybe strategic management. So in that sense, it helps to have the better performance. Next is, we can have the systematized business decisions with the help of strategic management, because it provides total data and required information is available. We take a deep study of it, we take up with the analysis, so systematized business decisions can be resulted. Next comes up is, it improves the communication and coordination, because it provides effective communication of information from the lower level managers to middle level and middle to top. What happens? Not only that, but it also improves the coordination and communication among the whole organization. So in that sense also it is important. Next is, it helps to improve the allocation of resources. With the help of strategic planning or strategic management, it helps in deciding upon the most feasible and viable projects, right? And thereby improves the allocation of the resources available with the organization in the viable projects. So that can be done with the help of strategic management. Next comes up it helps the manager to have holistic approach. That means with the strategic management, managers have complete understanding about the company. Holistic means taking the whole, or taking all the aspects of the company in together, right? So that can be understood well with and he has a kind of holistic approach towards the business problems and the priorities that can be taken up, right? So that gives a kind of holistic approach to the manager. Next and last one is, what is the last need? It helps the to develop the field of research also. What happens, it is only recently that there is methodological problem in the research in the field of this study. More systematic knowledge in this area is available at present, therefore it is worthwhile, that means it is a must to study strategic management at present as compared to the past, because so many researches have already been taken up, so many methodological problems which were there in past have been sorted out. So what happens is, as compared to past, today strategic management has become worthwhile also and imperative also. So this is what is all about the need, why it is required, need, objectives, aims. Then we can give these 8 points together for strategic management. Next is about the strategic characteristic of strategic management. Why I am taking all these things together? Because we have understood the topic of strategic management so well, we can just try to see that we have the related topic done properly, right? So characteristics, we are going to see it as the last part of the today's session, and then we move on to the next portion in the next lectures, right? Now, number one, it is a long-term issues, no need to explain, that characteristic is quite clear. It is done for long-term impact to the organization, right? An organization thus analyzes the strength and weakness and accordingly adapts them to the future environment. So long-term issues are taken care of. Second strategic is it gives the competitive advantage. It helps because it helps the manager to find out new sources to have the sustainable competitive advantage over the maybe the competitors, right? So executives that apply the principles of strategic management in their work tries to deliver the product and services that are cheaper, maybe the customer satisfaction can be availed, and makes the employees more satisfied with their jobs. So they can gain the competitive advantage over all these areas, in all these areas over their competitors, right? So it helps to gain the competitive advantage. The next characteristic is they may effect on operations. That means effect on operations can be there. Naturally, good strategic management analysis has a very positive and sizable effect on the operational issues that are there in the organization. Operational decisions include the decisions that deals with the questions such as how to sell to certain customers, or whether to open a credit line to them or not. Such operational decisions are made at the lower level of the organizational hierarchy, right? So effect on operations are always seen. Shareholders managing the organization in a strategic with or in a strategic issue, it requires that the interest of shareholders be put at the heart of all the issues. That means the stakeholders should not be at the loss. So that characteristic is always that the shareholders are at the core, right? Next comes up, it is a pervasive process. Naturally, it is ongoing process, and it is to be done for all the organizations at all the levels by all the managers. Next, it is forward looking. Naturally, it is done for the long range, and strategic management is more mainly concerned with planning for future, considering the present strategies and tactics. Next is product of top management thinking. Strategic management is the work that only top executives or only top executives at the highest level have the because they have the complete and necessary information to plan out the organization as a whole. So it is the product, or it is the outcome of top management, though we cannot forget the contribution of the middle order or the lower level employees, right? But it is the product, it is taken up by the, or they are being framed by the top level management. It is dynamic and flexible. Strategies or strategic management are dynamic in nature, or is dynamic in nature because it has to survive in the environment that keeps on changing, say vastly from time to time. So changes in the environment brings about the changes in the strategic planning activities of the firm, and with the help of strategic management those flexibility is available. or are available, right? And helps to prioritize. That means it helps an organization to prioritize its activities and to focus its resources on the most important activities, right? Most important activities are being checked, and it comes to know about the priority, and that priority can be checked, and accordingly actions can be taken up, right? So that's the end of the characteristics that the strategic management has, and the rest of the points or rest of the things, as you can see it on the slide here, will be taken up in the next portion, right? For now, it's a goodbye from my side. Take care of yourselves, and please keep the notes with you. At least the summary should be there, so that you will come to know what is the content of the first unit. Thank you.